77 Flavors, brought to you by Rick Ross.
Rick Ross.
Rick Ansley. Look at
Rick Ross.
See, we're already off to a good start.
We're off to a very bad start. Let's 77 Flavors of Chicago start now.
This is the podcast where we visit all 77 of Chicago's historic neighborhoods and discuss their heritage and taste the amazing food.
And if you know anything about us, we love two things, food and Chicago, so I can't wait to burn this gas money.
You ready?
Let's get it.
This is the 77 Flavors of Chicago, the podcast.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We back. Oops, shit.
Oops, fuck.
Yeah, we let the beat ride out.
Hey.
Maybach music. Maybach music.
I was thinking of Rick Ross. Rick Roll. It's a Rick Roll. That's what this is, you know? Y'all, welcome to another dope episode, 77 Flavors of Chicago. Dario.
Sarah.
And we back with our homeboy. Y'all seen him before on another episode. Jacoby. Everybody make some noise for your homeboy.
But we call him Kobe because we're friends.
Yeah, we call him Kobe.
What's up, y'all? I appreciate y'all having me back.
Of course, my brother.
Honestly, I've never felt less special than when you told us that you let people call you Kobe so they would feel more special. I was like, oh, so we not that, okay, we're not friends.
We regular as possible.
We just regular.
I had an interview with Will Lee from a Tribune a couple weeks ago, and I was like, hey, you mind if I
casually
call
dropping
you?
that in?
Yeah, look.
You mind if I call him
interview.
Will versus William? Because I see the prep in his name, William Lee. He was like, Jacoby or Kobe? I was like, oh, you can call me Kobe. And I saw his face light up just a little bit.
He felt good.
And I was
like, I love this.
We had Martha on here, and Martha Bain, and we mentioned you, and she was like, oh, y'all had Kobe on there already.
I was like, we're about to have him again.
Yeah.
Martha had a good interview. She was like, Jacoby, Kobe. I'm like, you call me Kobe.
You call me
Kobe. Martha, Will, it's all fake.
It's always. How you
None
been,
of this
though?
matters.
How you been, though, bro?
I'm good, though. I'm not complaining. The show is going good.
Yeah.
You guys got mentioned as one of the top podcasts in the city.
Yeah. Shout out to the Chicago Magazine for calling us an essential listen.
Right.
Yes, I saw that.
I think that's just because it's short. If I tell you the amount of people who tell me they listen to us, when they're not paying attention, they're brushing their teeth or taking that morning that morning bathroom break to themselves.
Yeah.
It's like I imagine 50% of our listeners are
on the toilet,
still fighting the urge to go back to sleep when they listen to us, but we are essential.
Hey man, look, you out here.
It's every day,
Yeah.
and it's short and sweet, and it's to the point.
Yeah.
You guys have awesome guests.
Good content.
Great
First of
content.
all, you know what I mean? Like, you got Chicago relevant content.
Yeah, I mean,
every day.
I honestly, there was no brain cell inside of my body that was willing to read any article about the Ward situation. And then I saw you guys had an episode about it. I was like, I'll listen to that. I'll listen to the 15 minutes.
No, I feel that 100%. The last time they did the war remapping would have been 2012. So I'd have been college at that time. So I was not paying attention to it. I did not care.
Yeah.
And just in the last month, we've covered it from so many different perspectives. The Latino caucus,
Right.
the Black caucus, organizations fighting for the first Asian American war in Chicago. What's going to happen with Lincoln Yards? Is the 45th Ward, the Northwest side, going to get more progressive, or it's going to stay that bungalow
Right.
This shit boring. Let's be real, but it's so important. Power for the next 10 years gets decided on this map.
I honestly didn't know what wards were, what they did, what their purpose was. So when I listened to the episode and it was they're the Latino, they're fighting. They have 13, they want 15 or even 16, and they got 14. I was like, okay, so that makes sense because then it's based on the census, so it really affects the areas that what people get and it was a very interesting episode.
Exactly.
And it was nice and perfect at 15
and the way the fight goes, it's you can't disadvantage Black caucuses, so you can't draw the map in a way that disadvantages the community, which is historically disadvantaged with Black folks in Chicago. And so it's unfortunate that what ends up happening around war remapping is we end up in that battle of when anytime I read an article, it's will there be an Asian American war? Will there be a more Black wars or less Black wars? And the whole time the white wars is we probably don't get 18 of these motherfuckers. We just gonna keep it going. Who get Lincoln Yards? Do I get more downtown, less downtown? So it just gets us pitted back into our old segregation game, which is, as we reminded people in the newsletter, the fight has always been messy. Every 10 years, it's messy. So don't let the don't let the way we cover it trick you into thinking this is like the first time it's ever always been this messy. And some would argue maybe the messiness is better because we're not just going to accept a shit map,
right,
like the one they put out.
Yeah, man.
And that, like, it kind of, this is the last thing I'm going to say on this, but it kind of puts into perspective why you should partake in the census. Like, I never knew that affected that. I didn't, honestly, this is like my flaw that I just didn't do any research, but I mean, yeah, I did partake in the census, and now I'm glad that I did because it's so important. But yeah, I mean, the more people know, like, what is the point of doing this? It affects your everyday life.
Yeah.
For 10 years.
And look, we learned all that from City Can Chicago.
Yeah, 15 minutes, y'all.
15 minutes.
We appreciate y'all, but shout out to the other people. AD Quid from Crane Chicago Business has been one of those voices we had on the show that explained it to us. And there's some great journalists in the city covering it, so we're so grateful to them.
Yeah, man. That's one hell of a. Since the last time we talked, it's a big update for you. It's a big update.
I won't belabor it, but what really feels good is actually, I swear, I promise to you, I put that on my mama, right? I was telling you, I put anything on anything, right? I put it on my mama. Like, I was literally in an Uber on my way here, and, you know, the guy asked, you know, where I'm from and what I do, and we ended up talking about CityCast, and, you know, he asked me a question, I gave him an example about the war map, and after I explained it to him, he was like, oh, I get it, and thank you, and I sat back, and a part of me was like, damn, I'm actually learning from this. I actually just really told this man all of these talking points, and so I'm really grateful to the show.
And go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I think what's also important is that you have like people from the community educating the community. Like if not everyone likes to listen to an NPR podcast. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that do Chicago history. I think, like, listening to Dario talk about Chicago history, someone that's from here, that's lived here his whole life, that's like learning as the process goes. And then that's a perspective that a lot of people relate to. Yeah. Like Dilla, a lot of people relate to that. Mm-hmm. Like, you want to learn from him.
I mean, because the best you ever, boy.
He's so fun to talk to.
Right.
He's so fun to talk to.
Like you talking, you know what I mean? Like, these are people the majority will relate to. And so that's why I think it's so important that if you are a creative and you have an outlet or an option to, like, educate or whatever your field is, right? Whatever your best knowledge is, helping people understand that from your perspective is, like, really important. And that's why I enjoy listening to these kinds of things, because I relate to it. It makes sense to me.
I appreciate it. It's the reason I love y'all too, because there is a clear feeling that this is something you enjoy. Your perspective feels very real and authentic. It doesn't feel tailored. Like, we're coming to hear, you know, about these particular types of restaurants that give Chicago a particular type of feel. It's really from y'all's humble opinion and interest, and it was what makes the show so fascinating.
Yeah, and it's been fun, and kind of like what you said, when you tell what you know back to somebody who doesn't know, you already feel like, damn, I did learn something.
I felt so good. I was like, Jesus. I didn't just like shove that into my mind for the interview and then lose it all. I was like, I actually kept it.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you know, like, I do a lot of research, you know what I mean, for this, and you know, we have to know, you know, when somebody asks us now, because we are a form of media now, oh, man, I heard you say this, man, what would you say? We get recommendations all the time. Where should we go? And I'm like, we ain't been to all 77 yet, but we've been
to a couple.
We've been to 25, so 26 now. So.
We made a post the other day, and it was like food bloggers need to do better because the South Side is not highlighted enough. Like, there's food south of River North, basically. And it got a lot of traction because a lot of, like, South Side businesses that do follow us that we've either been to or we plan on going to were like, and one person commented, you know, maybe they don't deliver or they don't cater or they don't have social media. And I was like, but a lot do. And you see these businesses comment like, we do, like, all of them, and it was probably our most interactive post. And I was by far.
It's because people want it. They're really looking for it, which is, y'all had Martha on. And the way I met Martha was because Southside Weekly was putting out their best of the Southside. And you look through that list, and even as somebody who, again, born and raised on this city, they was giving me gems. They was putting me on throughout the entire edition. And, you know, we have to constantly be doing the work of tearing down this box they put the South and the West Side on, because it's so much 100%. Beauty over here. So.
It's a lot of history. A lot of history. Yeah, that's a perfect segue. Perfect segue. We are in Avalon Park here, number 45. in Chicago, the community area. And if you hear the music playing, we are getting the mood set right for us here in Mickey's, here in Stony Island. Happy to be here. Now, Kobe, you from the area, right? You from around, you close by?
I'm close by. So my grandma, back in the late 50s, purchased her house over here off of 89th and Stony Island, right in Calumet Heights, Peel Hill neighborhood. And so I spent my whole life coming up and down Stony. And I was telling y'all earlier, the staple restaurant in this neighborhood that I always knew was Taurus for the long time, right here on 85th. Unfortunately, they're not there anymore. So when y'all asked me, did I want to come back on? Where, when y'all said Avalon Park, when y'all said Mickey's, I was like, y'all for real? And not only have I been there, but this, I was just standing out there before we came in here. I'm like, man, my whole childhood exists up and down this street.
Yeah. I was telling you, I'm so familiar with the area, obviously, from the south side. The first thing I thought when we said we were going to do this one, I was like, man, we're going to Stony Island. And I'm thinking, I got all these childhood memories of my grandmama and auntie whenever it was time to run errands in that old-ass dynasty, Plymouth dynasty she had. We used to pack up, me and my sisters and my grandmama, and we'd be out all damn day. Yep. I'm like, man, why are we out this damn long? And Stony Island was one of the places we would go. And I'm like,
what is here that you would
so
buy?
we used to go to the shops down here. We used to go to there's a bank that we used to go to. Mind you, this is back when I was a little short.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. But I just remember
in the early 70s.
What? She almost made me broke the fourth wall and look at the camera. Almost did it. She liked to play games. She liked to play games.
Hey man, this Wendy's right here off 87. This is the most popular Wendy's in all of Chicago.
Is it really?
I promise you. It's the most popular. The one off Garfield get a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen this one.
I am convinced that every Wendy's tastes different.
And something about this one because
is it smacking though?
Honestly, I think it's like that Atlanta episode when they were slinging something out the thing. Ain't no reason for motherfuckers over there for spicy nuggets, y'all. These nuggets, you can find these anywhere. Darren Ryan, off on Western. Bro, that line into the street.
Into the street?
For some strawberry lemonade?
Yeah, this is something else.
I swear to God, if you order DoorDash for that Wendy's at night, you're getting about 3 cancels.
Wow.
You're getting about 3 cancels because they're not going.
Wow.
They're like, bro, that line
it's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Really?
Whoever owns that franchise.
Yeah, they buzzing. They popping. Yeah, they popping.
You got you one, yeah.
It's like I said, I just remember being out all damn day with my grandmama and my auntie, man. I'm like, come on.
Also, with your attention span, I can imagine.
And imagine me as a shorty.
That must have been rough.
Shit, I did not look. I couldn't, bro. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it, man. I was like, and I was the oldest. I'm the oldest of the 3. So it's just like I'm sitting in the car next to these 2 little ass girls. I'm like, man, I'm tired of them. Don't touch me. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I'm not touching you.
Yeah,
do you remember that commercial where the brother goes, "I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you."
I remember that in real life. Like that's it. I don't need a commercial. I just got PTSD right now. Like, I'm sitting there. I'm like, please don't touch me. Please don't touch me. But we in like I said, Avalon Park, and it's got some pretty interesting history. Very short written up on it, and I'm gonna touch on that for a little bit in a little while. But for the boundaries, so those that don't know Avalon Park, the boundaries, to the north we got 76th Street, to the east we got South Chicago Avenue, and to the south we got 87th Street. Now I didn't say west because it is a triangle. This is a triangle here. So, this is my song right here. Whoa,
they been hit me from start to finish.
I don't know if they're gonna be hit, man. I done broke a character. But so the history of this was really German and Irish in the 1880s. A lot of marshlands, flooded marshlands. Marsh, like Marsha.
I don't know what.
You don't know what that is?
No.
Brady Bunch?
Come on. No idea.
I mean, I guess I can see that.
Wow.
I guess
is that a bad thing?
I mean, Brady Bunch kind of a big deal.
I've heard of them. I've just never seen it.
Yeah, I never watched it.
You never watched it?
No.
It used to come
I know they threw like a football at one of the kids.
Then they hit in the nose, the girl. Marsha. I think it was Marsha. Marsha got her shit busted up. Yeah.
I know there's a movie. I saw it on HBO the other day while I was scrolling through. Yeah. It was
Brady Bunch movie?
Yeah, it was a Brady Bunch movie.
Right?
What they talking about?
I don't know. It was on HBO. I didn't click on it.
White Flight.
Say White Flight.
White Flight. That's basically
You're
what
probably accurate. I mean, that show is old as hell. Yeah.
I used to watch it. It used to come on after Small Wonder. Again, I'm showing my age.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah,
Kobe and I are in the same age group. I feel like.
Let me go ahead and give myself some kind of.
He said Small Wonder.
He said, "Let me get my
Boy Meets World."
Yeah, Boy Meets World.
That was basically Small Wonder, but it was a little bit more darker. I don't know. It was like more funny and like it was a third perspective. What is
No idea. Maybe I should look that up. That sounds. If it's like Boy Meets World, then it must be something.
Maybe I'm definitely wrong with that. I don't think it's Boy Meets World. Now that I think about it more in my head, I'm like, no.
The more I think about it, more in my head.
Before I would think outside my head.
Yeah.
Get off me.
Christ, on the side.
Yeah. Just trying to play me. But this place was developed by a guy named Jonathan Pierce. He began to develop the area in 1888, and it went by the name of Pierce's Park. Now, another thing that I read said that it went by Pennytown. It went by Pennytown first, and it was annexed to the city in 1889. But Avalon Park Community Church, founded in 1896, helped change the name of this area. In 1910, it was officially changed to Avalon Park.
Okay.
Also, in 1910, sewer system was built.
Yeah, this was a swampy area. They said you used to have to build up.
And so it was
still very swampy.
A lot of houses were built on stilts. So,
really?
Yeah, a lot of things built on stilts, and because of the marshland, and there was a lot of flooding, so you had to build up. Kind of like the story of Chicago, to be honest with you. We before the fire, everything was built up.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was like on stilts, I guess, so to say. The sewer system came, and like everything, I mean, you got the Great Depression, you got the World War, the boom. It was a boom, and there was a not, and then it was a boom. Again.
There's the huge train line right here where Greater Grand Crossing turns into Avalon Park. Like two major Illinois trains ran through there. So a lot of people who lived over here worked on the railroad. Some worked up in Pullman, and they kind of moved this far. So you had a lot of Swedish, German, your Euros.
Look at, okay.
Hey man, I've been on the show a couple times.
He said he knows.
I know I got to come correct. I was sitting there like, oh my god, I've never heard of this place. I've never been here before. Avalon Park, I'm like, my mama live up the street. I got to know a little something in the 1960s, Black Folk Society. We gonna move over here. Started with doctors and lawyers. Then they started divesting the community.
Hold on, no, keep on going. Keep on going. We ain't done. He said in the 1960s.
And the black folks came to Avalon Park and they said, take your train track ass up north. We gonna have to need over here.
That's large.
From Jackson Park to South Chicago. From Hegewisch in the east side to Harrisburg. We gonna need this, partner.
Come on.
That is.
Why my man ride the beat though so hard though?
Yeah, that was.
You went crazy. I mean, wow. But he's exactly right. In the 60s, there was 0% black people. Believe it or not, it was actually 12 black people out of, I think it was 12,000.
Oh, I thought you said just 12. I was like, who counted?
No, they did. I did say 12.
It was easy. They was like, those motherfuckers go to one church.
Yeah. No, I'm right. It was 12, literally.
Like 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah, 1, 2. And then in the 70s, it was 83% black people.
Wow.
Yes.
Wait, what is the first date?
The 1960s. So in the decade.
In a decade?
White flight, bro. They be getting up out of here.
They just pack that shit.
Them niggas really will pack up a whole
They don't even
town.
pack. Did you know they don't even pack? A lot of them left their furniture and their clothes and everything in the mansions that they owned, and they just left.
And they just left.
Like the bungalows, they just left and just.
Reckless.
Now here's the
They're
crazy.
like, nope.
No, we don't. Nope.
They said they ended restricted covenants, so we ain't got that no more. Because we got to take ourselves and our property taxes
and get the
get
stuff
on
in.
out of here.
You know what's crazy though is that it wasn't just in this area. It wasn't just the like black people getting kind of discriminated racial lines. They did that to the Swedes.
Yeah.
So they kind of pushed the Swedes out.
Swedes.
Yeah, they pushed the Swedes out too in the area, and so they moved. They did their own thing.
I mean, the whites were discriminatory against each other until it wasn't beneficial anymore, and then they would be like,
60s,
actually,
they said,
come
we
here,
need to
come
open
here.
up whiteness,
Yeah.
get a better sense of what we are,
Right.
because we losing numbers here.
To be, if we're talking,
we need a category, white. They was like, what's that? They said it's us now.
Yeah.
And they
It's
said
whoever-
secretly
All of
it's
us.
the rich whites,
Right.
and the rest of you motherfuckers.
Are not
For the sake of the census,
Right.
talking about that earlier.
all y'all white.
It was really crazy. I went up to the Swedish American Museum up in Andersonville, and
yeah.
my whole life that was a little sweet.
Right.
And I asked them, like, where y'all story in Chicago start? They was like, some of us was down in Avalon Park. I was like, you motherfuckers was where?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we was down there on Stony, Avalon Park. I was like,
No, you weren't.
no,
There's a lot of people.
No, you weren't.
Remember, so you said no. Try
no,
again.
it wasn't.
Show
Try-
me where.
Yeah,
Where?
Where at was you at? You know, like,
They
where,
said right here, 85th and Gregier. I was like, 85th and Gregier?
You can pronounce that?
you can,
That's crazy.
You know what's great? But we learned in the Hyde Park episode that this was all white at one point.
Yeah.
You know, it was all white. This was a getaway.
I just want to, for historical purposes, I just want to say that Arabs or the Ottoman Empire were the first Caucasians, like the first to be labeled as Caucasian. Did you know that?
Those Caucasus Mountains.
See, I didn't know none of that.
Yeah.
Well, you told me, but I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't know it. I didn't know that.
It just goes to
Isn't
show that
crazy?
race is
It
such
doesn't
a
matter.
social
I mean, it
construct.
doesn't matter. I mean, like,
It's a social construct.
You're
That's-
obviously built.
right.
Yeah.
No, that's what I meant. I
Whole
meant
structure.
like they don't. It doesn't actually matter what the it's more socioeconomical than it is what you look like.
Yeah, right. I mean, well,
Like in the beginning, when
Depends what you
when
look
they
like.
Yeah, I'm about
first,
to say-
no.
I mean,
I meant
pretty
like
evident. No.
I meant like when they were setting up race structure, like a few hundred years ago. It wasn't based on what you look like. It was like socioeconomically, where do you place in society? If you're rich, then you're superior. I mean, it's everywhere. It's every country in the world has that.
There's their caste systems. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way we've moved around, like pockets of people have
Yeah.
moved, but it shows because of Chicago, it doesn't happen with just like a couple of people dipping off. It's
Right.
like some people dip, the whole area changes.
The whole area changed.
Like I was telling somebody on the show, I was like, you could see the elementary school, like my elementary school over on like 87th and Ashland, and they got all the 8th grade graduating classes up.
Yeah.
And you see
Yeah.
in the 40s, it was
That's
like
crazy.
it was all white, and then it happened, and you just saw like you saw one little kid pop in for integration, like.
Yeah. It was,
And like 5 classes later, it's just all black folks.
Yeah.
All white folks. Is,
and what's crazy though is like that's not long ago. You know, we talking
Yeah.
Gage Park. We did that episode. That was the 70s,
1970s, yeah.
72. You know what I mean? Like, so you think about it. My dad was 10, 12 at that time when integration happened. Right when he was starting to go to school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so
I feel like we need to start every episode out with that fact so that people continue to remember it because it's like genuinely mind blowing.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They want
I
you
mean,
to forget how.
Yeah.
They want you to think it was much longer.
Right.
yeah, right. And it's not long ago.
It
Shit.
wasn't.
Interracial marriage was just a couple decades ago, a few decades ago. So
Hey, Rick's getting busting in this bitch.
yeah. It's
They said we finna close down. People said, all right, we gonna come.
Yeah,
in.
people like let's get the cracking. But we are inside Mickey's, and this is you know, now that we run a food podcast, so to say, I don't want to be biased, but before I was talking a little crazy and talking about how this is the best burger in the city.
Hey, it's up there.
And
It is up there.
It's up there.
It is up there.
It's
It was
way up there.
one of our very first dates was
Look at
Mickey's
us.
in Hyde Park, and then one of our other first dates was Stony Island Library.
Yes, it was.
Was it the library or it was the library?
Yeah.
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 The one in the Arts Bank or the
Yeah.
Yeah, Arts Bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful building.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was so
So
nice.
crazy that it was like dead during the time, and
It
like
was.
the
We
mass.
went-
Well, it wasn't. Was it the pandemic?
It's almost always been empty when I go.
It's
Yeah,
always
it
empty.
was-
Yeah,
it
but
was not the
It wasn't the
pandemic
pandemic. It was right
because-
before because we didn't
yeah.
have masks and stuff like
Right,
that on.
we
Yeah.
didn't.
But that was what y'all think about the history. I mean, we got some good perspective being on the South Side,
Yeah.
and we.
How do you feel like it's changed? I mean, I don't know how long you've been alive, but I'm assuming like plus minus 3 decades. How do you feel like it's been?
The neighborhood, or you talking about?
Just the neighborhood,
The
the
neighborhood,
community,
the
like the area.
Yeah, I mean, for me now, at least just from the vantage point of like my mom's house, you know, her neighborhood had solidified itself as like all black folks. But now you see it's starting to change as, you know, the Latino and Latinx population grows in Chicago. More young couples are moving into her neighborhood. I think she has a few white folks now in her neighborhood. And so you definitely see some businesses popping up. You see the beggars down the street, just the nail salon and the barber shop. You know, again, the fact that for a long time Taurus was the major restaurant staple on this strip, and now you got Mickey's, which has moved here in the last couple of years from over at Hyde Park. You know, it's still an investment. It's still a neighborhood that needs more investment, and it shouldn't take investing in a neighborhood to happen alongside pushing the people out, which is ridiculous. It's like, you know, people gonna put the money back into their community if there are things for them
that we want. You know,
exactly. So it's definitely changed a little bit, but you know, this has probably been one of the most consistent neighborhoods in terms of how it looks. Like that pizza's been there my whole life. This bank on 87th, that Walgreens.
I think the
Checkers has changed, and you know, some of the restaurants up, but like the Tavern down on 89th and Krieger. Somebody asked me the other day, y'all still call it taverns? David Plouffe. My mom always, your granddaddy going to the tavern. And now there's like a new bar over there that young people hang out. You know, I think it's 2 new bars up on Stony Island before you hit 95th Street, and it was right outside of Avalon Park, but you know, an Uber driver of mine said he went in there, and you know, people are still figuring out the vibe and who gonna come in and how people gonna act. You know, people always want to ask those kind of questions, but it's been good to see a little bit of investment. Again, just the hope is that, you know, you go down to Hyde Park, and I live in Hyde Park, but I lived in Hyde Park in 2016. It already looks different. In 2021, in 2016. Obviously, it's sort of natural, but it's like 2016, you saw young couples. Now 2021, see little kids on bikes.
It's different.
And everybody jogging. They're running around.
And I was just about to say, that's going to change even more because, you know, when you think about things like the infrastructure bill.
Well, I was just going to ask. I wonder if this neighborhood is part of that.
Well, the infrastructure bill is that's going to help us get the red line to come down this way a little bit more, and then in addition, you know, Lightfoot, the city is investing $4 billion on the south side.
Isn't it? Do you think?
I think this is part of the area. You know, still part.
I think a lot of money will get like dispersed. I'm interested to see what it actually looks like, but you know, Avalon Park is going to be impacted regardless because, you know, 67th Street, Jackson Park. It's right there in the Obama Center coming in the next few years.
So this is
that's slowly going to spread.
Well, this is it because there's the Invest in Southwest program that was it's 2 years old. And so that's going on for the Southwest, and then
the new Regal Theater Studio is going to happen right here on 79th from Stony to South Chicago. And so this neighborhood is between Grady Grand Crossing and Avalon Park. Is going to see a lot of investment from. I talked to the owner of the new Avalon Regal Theater, and you know, he wants to keep that money concentrated. He wants to make sure that people in the neighborhood are getting jobs. But you know, we've seen these stories before. And so my hope is that it doesn't. You know, it doesn't take, again, moving people out to invest in the neighborhood because that shit is violence. That's what violence is in the city.
And this is such a nice area. You know what I mean? It's a very nice area. And for those that are not in the city and you listen to the podcast, you want to kind of get a feel of it. I mean, kind of like what you were describing, you know, you said your granddad was, he's still going down Tower. You know,
a lot
of
old school families over here. A lot of old black folks live in Avalon Park. You go up and down these streets, a lot of quiet streets, a lot of, you know, the classic Chicago home, just lined up with lots.
And parks, a lot of like, a lot of greenery, a lot of parks.
And you're not far from the Museum of Science and Industry, which is personally my favorite museum in the city.
I think Kenny Galladay's mom, the wide receiver for the Giants, you know, he's from Chicago, he went to St. Reed. His mom lived in Avalon Park. Like this is where you have a lot of grandparents, a lot of older folks. And my mom would always say, because now they are getting older, you see a lot of their children aren't staying. They're selling the homes, and they're not choosing to move back. And so it's that time when it really is, we could look up, and the entire makeup of the community is just sort of shifted shifted from underneath us. And my hope is that's not the case because, you know, if you're looking to live on the south side of Chicago, Avalon Park is a solid neighborhood to live in. Like,
I'm telling you, that's one hell of a plug, man. I'm telling you, like I said, we've gotten a lot of people that say they used to be from Chicago and they live somewhere else now. You got a lot of people that's moving to the city from East and West Coast and all over, and we've been referred. I'm glad you said what you said, man. If you're looking for some place to go, man, we gonna change the stigma that the South Side is a little scary to come to. It's not. It's a beautiful place
Avalon
with some beautiful people in it.
Calumet Heights is beautiful. Chatham and Gresham, and it's unfortunate because these are the neighborhoods when you look at the census, we lost 10,000 black folks in the last 10 years and over 400,000, since our peak in the 80s. And these are the neighborhoods where people are leaving, the Chathams, the Gresham, the Mary Nooks, and Avalon Parks. And so we need people.
We need people back
to stay here, and a lot of that comes in invest in these communities, because what we're hearing is people leave because they don't feel like they can live here and eat here, and shop here, and raise their kids here, and go to school here,
and it's very livable.
And if you invest in all those things, the people will be here.
I really feel like we talk about this every episode, because it's like you see it everywhere we go, and it's so true, because like, you don't need people from outside of the community investing in the community. You need the people that already live here and that know it, that know what it needs to invest in this community. That's,
And they are. We matter of fact, there's some renovation going on right here inside of Mickey's.
And I'm so glad they chose to bring Mickey to Avalon Park, because Hyde Park that motherfucker was popping.
It was popping.
They had a park location,
and it's not that far from their original location. It's not
far. It's not far. About 10 minutes, if that. We're gonna take a little break, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna play "Are You the Asshole?" And then we're gonna talk about Mickey's. So
what about this motherfucking menu?
Hey, we'll be right back, y'all.
And we are back with the food portion of this episode.
Let's get it.
We're going to start off with the "Am I the Asshole?" question.
And
for those,
ready?
For those of you that don't know, "Am I the Asshole?" is a subreddit where people post their stories, and then let just everyone tell them if they're the asshole or not. And it's my favorite. So
it's pretty good to just call somebody asshole.
I know. And we don't even know them, so I don't even feel bad.
What if they listen to the podcast? On the end of it.
You're usually the asshole?
I am.
You are?
Mm-hmm. You've been nice to us.
Hey, man, I got self-control. It's taking a long time.
He said get it twisted. It's going to be 76 flavors. 74. What's
all
up?
right,
What you got?
are we ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So, am I the asshole for telling my fiance to not put ketchup on some foods? I know the title sounds weird, but hear me out. I, 28 male, and my fiance, 29 female, have our wedding planned for next year. We've been together for about 3 years, and I have a weird problem with ketchup due to an incident that happened when I was younger. My parents used to put it on my vegetables, and it made me very sick. I feel nauseous seeing ketchup put on some foods.
What? Brother, ketchup? Okay, I'm sorry.
My fiance loves to put ketchup on her food. I made a steak dinner with French fries. She put ketchup on top of her steak, and I could feel myself becoming nauseous. I ran to the bathroom and came out saying, "Honey, can you not put ketchup on certain foods?"
Oh, it's on her food.
So it's not even on his food.
I thought they were putting it. See, at first I was with him. I was like, no. Why? No.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
She looks at me and says, "No. Just because you have a problem with ketchup does not mean I have to stop enjoying it on my food." She went off to our bedroom, and I did try talking to her, but she told me to leave her alone. She told some of her friends what happened, and a few reached out saying I was out of line and controlling. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, you is.
Yeah, he is.
You is. At first, you wasn't, because I thought it was a situation where,
he's been traumatized.
They were making the dishes. And without your consent, just add ketchup.
Well, they were. His parents were.
That's what.
Definitely the parents were. Parents at that point,
they gonna tell you you gonna eat what you eat.
My mom was telling me you gonna eat what you eat.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, I ain't making it. I done been in some households as an adult where the kid will say I don't want it, and the parent will be like, all right, I'll make you something else. And I'm like,
Never.
What options?
My mom had a key for our fridge, so once dinner was done, it was over.
Man, I never heard of that.
Oh yeah,
mom's
we had
Harry
sneaky,
Potter.
but fridge key, that's a different level right there.
Yeah.
What kind of lock was on it?
Shit, I don't know.
The minute it switched and was like, I asked them to change their palate.
Yeah, right.
Like, no, you're an asshole now.
Right. You're an asshole.
No. You're an asshole for putting ketchup on steak.
That's what I was going to say.
You Patrick Mahomes, goof troop looking motherfucker. Like, what is wrong with you? Yeah,
shout out to Patrick.
Eating well done fucking rump roast.
With ketchup.
Well done steak.
This ain't
meatloaf.
Yeah, what? Who the hell puts ketchup on steak?
Patrick Mahomes.
Does he really?
Yeah, he does.
Their partner.
Yeah. I don't
I know
how that
he's
would
a
go down.
sports person. I don't know what sport he plays, but that's
quarterback for the Chiefs.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what
Football.
the Chiefs is, but
Football.
Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
She wouldn't even know that either.
I'm with you.
That's fair.
Super Bowl winning quarterback.
He's struggling this year.
Gave him $1 billion.
He's struggling this year, though.
It's because he got hella money. He don't know how to. He has his pockets heavy. He don't know how to get up out that.
He don't know how to maneuver no more.
Yeah,
please pray, let me get there.
But hear me out.
Okay.
So you don't like mushrooms,
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But I cook.
Okay.
So when I make food, I am not allowed to use mushrooms in the food.
No.
Is
And
that
like
the
shared
same?
dishes like risottos
Right,
and
shared
pastas.
dishes. There's no mushrooms in the food. So
I
if
mean-
I want mushrooms on my food, I have to cook a separate portion for myself.
So look,
That
now
has
it's gonna turn his
mushrooms.
daughter to asshole.
So like, all right, when you change it, all right. When we start talking about shared dishes, all right. So I can't do tuna. I never been able to do it my entire life. That was the one dish my mom was cool being like, I won't give it to you. I'm gonna make it for other people.
Right.
So my mom made it my responsibility. When she made it, you need to move around.
Yeah.
Like you can't eat dinner at the table. We eat motherfucking tuna. You need to bounce.
You gotta move.
So she wasn't adjusting for the one.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't put it in something. And so, but it's also, what's the level of you don't like it? You don't like it because you're a baby with baby
Yes.
taste.
Oh,
Yes,
wait a
that
minute.
is- it's
See,
that
you
one.
You're a baby with
Yeah,
baby
baby
taste.
with baby
No.
taste.
Grow
No.
the fuck up because mushrooms is fire.
No.
Here's
Hell
my
no.
thing. When was the last time you had a mushroom?
I don't give a damn when the last time I had a mushroom.
You never
was.
had a mushroom ever.
I guarantee
I have
I
had
could
mushroom.
have mushroom in your food. You would not know it was even there.
I
And
bet
at that
money.
point, you'd ask yourself, like, what's the point of it then if I'm not even going to be able to taste it?
Yeah.
But I'm going to walk you into the taste of mushrooms. It's so many different versions of them.
So, but okay, what's the point of it if it don't have no taste? to
It does have a taste to it.
Because fiber, you know.
It's
that-
delicious.
Fiber
It
is
has
good
an
for you,
don't need
umami
taste.
flavor. Oh,
As you
it's
finish
so good.
your tasteless water bottle, you know it's good for you.
Look, I'm not eating mushrooms ever, and
And it's like the more I talk about it, the more he presses into. He's never eating mushrooms.
I'm not
Like,
gonna eat it. I bet you I can taste the mushroom
you
inside.
can't.
You can't.
You want to bet?
can't.
How much money you want to bet? Let's bet like $500. I'll make something. and you can't-
$500?
Okay,
Oh,
$200. I'll make something with mushrooms in it, and you won't
We
even
live
know.
together. we
We're
pay
going
the
to spend
same
the
rent.
$200 on the same thing.
We pay the same rent. What you mean?
And it goes in my account.
Like, oh,
That's the difference, not in the joint account.
She got a kitty account that I don't know about.
said,
Okay,
"That's mine."
Look at. Well, I tell you, we're gonna take it to the streets.
I'll take
and be
it in
like,
cash.
Y'all,
See, I definitely think a conversation needs to be. Obviously, if you're allergic to something, if you got
Not allergic.
Trump,
You're
my
not
whole,
allergic to
my,
shit.
you know, I got homies who don't eat pork, but they're not allergic to it, and I've, I accidentally fed them some pork ribs once.
Accidentally fed them some pork ribs.
They asked, I
It's not
told
even
them, but
like
they weren't
bacon
paying
in a
attention.
salad.
We
It was
was-
pork ribs.
They
They ate it, then they asked, but gee, it was clearly fire.
It was good. They ain't say
loved
nothing.
it. They loved it. They said something.
the
And
hell?
afterwards, he put on a whole. My boy Slim put on a whole production of. Can't believe you fed me pork, my nigga. What the hell?
Is it like religious or is it just like a food preference?
It's more like a food preference.
Okay.
And so in that case, I'm like, right, that's my bad. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to like force
like, I
feed
whispered it to
somebody,
you.
Pork or ketchup or something like that. But if he turn around and say you can't be making pork when I'm at your house, you better stay at the crib.
yeah, right for real. This is my house. Look, I mean, she could have her whatever she wants.
I haven't bought mushrooms in like 2 years.
She could do it though. I ain't never said don't. I just
What am I gonna buy it for?
you make whatever you want to.
Omelets.
You know what I'm saying? Do what you eat them in omelets,
Yes.
mushrooms and omelets.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a fungus.
And you say it like that.
It's
Right.
a fungus.
You say it like that's a bad thing.
Kobe said that was the most. Stop.
You eat cheese, and it's mold.
I mean, it's a good one.
Okay.
Well, cognitive dissonance is a
I'll be honest. I did not
It's a
realize
fungus. It's a mold.
it's different. It's different. Say fungus or cheese. Which one sound better?
Speaking of moldy food, now I'm just playing.
Stop it. No.
And we just had a lot of. There's a lot of cheese on these.
Yeah, we had a lot of cheese.
Look, so we in Mickey's,
We are in
and
Mickey's.
this is again.
Honestly, when I was doing research
Not mine.
for a restaurant, I was like, "This will make you happy."
Yeah.
You were ecstatic about
Yes.
this choice.
We was going off on Twitter. I saw. I was like,
I'm gonna get the whole menu.
Kobe was like,
And
"Who
we did
the
it.
fuck do you think you are asking me if I like Mickey's?" I was like, "Kobe." That's it.
I ain't say it like that. I was just like, they don't know.
And there was
They don't know.
a GIF in
oh
there
yeah.
or a GIF,
once,
whatever.
once I saw
That was high as Craig. Like,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
He
Once
was like,
I saw
"You
you,
want me to get the
going-
sugar?" Yes.
I knew immediately. I was like, "Oh, we about to go off in it," and we did, y'all. Y'all saw the pictures. We went completely the fuck off. I mean, ordered
We
everything.
did. Yeah, we literally did. As we mentioned, Mickey's in Stony Island moved from Mickey's in Hyde Park,
Mm-hmm.
so you might have had it there. But it is like one of the best burgers in the
Yeah.
city. To be
Yeah.
honest.
Bigger location. Been here for a couple of years. Shout out to Rico Nance. owner of Mickey's, I believe, Lighthouse over in Hyde Park. I think the
said
Soul
Soul Shack?
Shack, like, you know, a restaurant tour.
There's
in Chicago.
also Mickey's in Atlanta.
Yes,
just opened.
Yes, he's got one in Atlanta. He was telling us.
Shout out to him, boy.
Yeah. So look, let me tell you. First we talked vibe. There's something about the Hyde Park one that I just really, absolutely vibe.
Because it felt like a hole in the wall.
Right.
That's why it was like small.
Yeah. And that doesn't take away from the food being here in this location at all. You know, but it just had that hole in the wall
Arguably,
feel.
the food here is better, in my opinion.
Fun fact. I had one of my first ever interviews as a entertainer here in the city. At the original Mickey's.
Okay.
I never forget it. It was like one of my first interviews, and I was like, holy cow, I'm like honored to be like interviewed. And he said, where's your favorite restaurant? Because that was the theme of the restaurant. Where's your favorite place to go? And I was like, we undoubtedly going to Mickey's.
Going to Mickey's.
Yeah, we're going to Mickey's without a
Rick's
doubt.
is, when me and my homies is together, about 50% of the time it ends up in a Mickey's, a large-ass Mickey's order. Shakes and jerk fries and Rico's Mild, like
this place is, you cannot.
So good.
And we've had 26 different restaurants. Yeah. And I knew once we came down to the area where this place was, this was going to be the pick. And look, this is as good as it comes. This kind of goes along with what we were saying, man. Like, we had to post on Facebook. There's a lot of places out south that is so good that I guarantee people up north have never even heard of.
Yeah.
And so if you. I mean, we're going to get into the food in a second, but, man, you got to come to Mickey's. You have to.
I mean, the music that's been in the background the whole time, they got a playlist just
see, we
got
vibing.
the game going. You know, the customer service, everybody was nice, recommendations,
nice.
with some onion rings. Like,
And they have, like, vegan options, they have vegetarian options.
Everything.
They, literally, like, they try to accommodate.
You know what, me and Kobe, we were talking about before we got on, as we were eating that, this is... They keep it black here, though. You know, like we love jerk chicken and everything, and this feels like you were saying, Kobe. You know, like when you make food at home, back in your old home.
It feel
elevated it.
It feel like the neighborhood meal. Like every neighborhood, it don't matter where you go in Chicago. And it's, you know, most cities like this, like you go and find a spot that sell burgers, chicken, mozzarella sticks, fries, you know, pizza puffs, some shakes. And those are a dime a dozen in the city.
Yeah.
Mickey's feels like they take that exact menu and they just make it with a little more love. It just doesn't ever feel like they just dropping pizza puff in the grease and walking off on you. You know, the jerk fries got a little garnish on it. You know, they not. Ain't no plate design.
Ain't no plate.
But
it's genuinely like the ingredients are elevated.
The
like
wings is fat. The brioche buns fresh every single time. The burgers is always just like the menu is consistently good.
The burger that I got was.
Let's go into it. What did let's talk about?
So I got the sloppy avocado burger, which is a hand-packed grilled Angus beef burger, sunny side up egg, avocados, cheese, tomato, red onion, lettuce, and sriracha mayo. That sriracha mayo that was on the onion rings too.
Mm-hmm. Clutch.
Was fire.
That sriracha mayo is very different.
Yeah, I mean, this is a burger that like. If someone was like, where would you get this burger? Like, it definitely
your
comes
mama's
to
house. That's where you get it.
I mean, a sunny side up egg and avocado and sriracha mayo.
All
very
Cheval is constantly
very
rated as like a top burger,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what they do. They throw that little sunny side egg on it, and it's all Cheval fat.
Yeah.
Mickey's out here throwing hands.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
but also, Al Cheval's burger is like $17. This one's $11.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like,
and you know, and it's up there. Trying to be a mice. That shit good to me. I'm sorry, this is like my favorite burger in the city.
I love the Mickey's burger.
This and Red Hot Ranch, got two of the best burgers. Have you ever had Red Hot?
I haven't.
You have to do the one on
look on y'all
Ashland,
face.
I'm shocked.
Yes. I mean, Anyway, that's not where we at. But along with burgers, though, I had the burger. I had the. If you come to Mickey's, they got a traditional. They got a fan favorite type menu, and then they got the rest of the menu. And Joe's Double is one that you got to get. I mean, it's got barbecue sauce on the cheese, the grilled onions, sriracha,
barbecue.
And we were talking, Kobe.
You should say 4 layers of cheese.
That bad boy is sloppy. And
that's
that
what
is
she said. I'm sorry.
Where's the button at?
That's what she said.
That's the first one for this episode.
That's the first one for this episode. We didn't make it.
That's my brother's favorite burger, and he lactose intolerant.
Stop
That's what
he still be making it.
Bro, that and Italian feet, he said, I'm paying for it, but like, until my body literally puts me into, just put me out, he said, I'll deal with it. But every time I order this place, he's like, "Let me get the Joe's double." I'm like, "You want like an alternative cheese?"
Nah, give me that.
Nice.
Hey, look,
Masochist.
Look,
Masochist.
I will risk it all for that Joe's Double too.
Yeah.
That bad boy is. I'm telling you.
But they also have vegan cheese. They have vegan mayo.
Yeah.
So like you can vegan.
They got some
anything.
subs.
They do.
Yeah.
You know, and
I
here's-
never subbed for him.
You never did it. You never will.
No, straight up cheese, straight up.
Here's the
patty.
thing. Let me tell you. And this is coming from a person. If you go back to those early episodes, I really didn't like vegan stuff, brother.
You're growing.
Majani's over South Shore. I'm still not gonna eat mushroom. No.
But Johnny's put it in there.
Yeah, but they hit it. You think they hit it? I probably did because it's different, and that's what I tasted. Y'all just don't want to admit it. But
It wasn't in the tofu.
I'd imagine. Yeah, that tofu.
Yo,
Look, I'm telling you,
the jerk sauce at Majani is fire.
the jerk sauce is good. I ain't never tofu can get the hell on. I promise you. Tofu. Anybody that like tofu, you can get the hell on.
I done probably tried it 10 times.
10
Maybe
times.
half of the time was it prepared well. Every other time I was like,
How do you prepare clay?
Yeah, I just think you have to like really crisp it for it to be good.
How do you
I just
crisp
think
clay?
like
I think you need
cube
to-
and crisp
cube, crisp, with sauce.
Yeah.
Cube clay.
Sauce.
because it tastes like nothing without sauce.
You gotta base it. While
Right.
it's being, you
Right.
gotta base it a lot.
See, I don't even know what's
It's like when you take a spoon, like whatever sauce is in the pan, you take the spoon and you kind of like put it.
Oh, I know
over
what you mean. It's still trash. It's still trash.
All right. Well, anyway, back to
Tofu is
Mickey's.
trash. Anyway, yeah.
You got like a shake, like a caramel
Yeah,
shake.
so I got the caramel shake, and then I got the Rico's mild, the honey barbecue, and the butter lemon pepper. That's my favorite sauce at Mickey's is the lemon pepper butter. I love that they didn't even like they was kind of mixed up, but by the time I got them, they was like, "Motherfucker, that's
All ending up in
honey
the same
Rico's butter sauce."
I bet you that slap.
And it was good. And
Yeah.
again,
They were
every
like
single wing
this
in
big.
there,
Yeah, the wings are.
they are a fist.
Yes.
Like-
I'm telling you, y'all.
I feel bad for those chickens.
I'm saying you said
fuck them chickens.
you said they ain't never seen a day like they set up there fat, obese. They just can't.
Being
fuck the
hand-fed
chicken.
They
corn.
got cut
I don't know
down.
what
But
chickens
that's
eat.
another thing, though. It's like they've been popping for years, and it's around this time you've been in
Mm-hmm.
the game where you start skimping on your ingredients.
Yeah.
You start changing shit. You built up this loyalty, and now you like, all right, what's the bottom line? Then every single time the wings look just like that.
And the thing is with Mickey's is they are so consistent with the whole menu, no matter whether it's it was the Hyde Park or it's this location. They are.
They were like, y'all need to get out.
They was like, what's the nicest way to
time to
tell
get the
them
fuck outta here.
they gotta go? Turn the lights off on their asses. They will get the message. That's what we used to do at the ring.
Yeah, yeah.
We used to just turn the lights
Gone.
off. Gee,
Done.
You sitting around with your skates singing, and it was like, motherfucker,
Go
it's 2
home.
in the morning.
Hey, look, I was
2 in the morning.
Yeah,
Lord,
when
no.
the
yeah.
session-
Skate rings go.
Hell
They
no.
go deep. They go deep.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
I'm sorry, you gave me that one.
I did that.
That's what she said. Hey.
Okay, look, let's stop.
Oh, also, they're on Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, and Postmates.
Yeah. One thing that we didn't really give the jerk fries
Oh my god.
or the jerk Italian beef.
Look, I would have liked the jerk fries to be a little spicier, personally.
I think they,
but
they
for the
hit my
average
jerk
person, they're
threshold.
good.
Yeah, they hit my jerk threshold.
Yeah.
yes, I think they the jerk threshold. Why did they just register late? He said they
we
hit
jerk
my jerk.
everything in this fucking city, man.
I
And it's
know.
from
I
the
love
hottest jerk.
Yeah,
Like-
right down the street. There's the jerk chicken man,
Bro.
On the
Yeah,
Chicago
that
would
one's
jerk
also
everything
really
for
good,
you.
but it's
Yeah.
a food truck.
Jerk
Yeah.
fries,
Yeah.
jerk heroes,
Yeah.
jerk hot dogs,
And
jerk burgers.
And?
We
Hey,
will
look.
put jerk sauce on anything in this.
Listen, I
Some
never
days I'm
had
like,
jerk
for real,
before.
G.
I
And
love-
other days I'm like,
bro.
jerk mozzarella. I done seen jerk everything in
Jerk.
this bitch.
What's your point? I don't.
You
I
can
clearly
jerk
ain't got one. G. It clearly is working for them. It clearly
You
figured
can
it
jerk
out.
everything for me,
Yeah.
pause, and I will. I wouldn't.
You're a
Hey,
hypocrite.
hey,
Okay.
no,
all right.
no. I gotta get it. That was good. Anyway, they had a jerk Italian sandwich
Yeah.
that I got. First time I got here, I've seen it on the menu many times, and
It was huge.
it's
That's what she
That
said.
it was packed with meat.
That's what she said.
All
I'm a
wet
grown
meat
up.
in there.
what is going on?
Three more bills.
What is going on?
All right, here we go.
Anyway, the Italian beef is good. Is what I'm trying to say.
It went from such a long description full of adjectives and love.
Mickey's gonna be like, take our name off
Their
this
Italian
episode.
beef covered in cheese and jerk sauce was fantastic. There's nothing problematic about that statement. It was good to the taste.
We'll just edit everything out before this.
No,
And
we
we'll
keeping
just
it in.
We'll just keep
that in.
Kobe's,
Keep
message.
As my voice is talking over
Yeah.
my
Down to Mickey's, right? It's just like, come down to Mickey's Grill, 85th and Stony Island.
And then the voice goes away and you're still doing this.
doing this.
Like a terribly
Like you're
dubbed
dubbed.
over anime.
Oh God! This is
stupid.
It's good times
So
here, Mickey.
stupid.
It's the music.
Every
That's what it is.
every time we get together, y'all.
Man, I'm telling you, loving it, brother. I love it. That's the food that we had. We had a lot of food. What would you
Oh,
say?
the onion rings were also really good.
Oh yeah,
Super
we had
crispy.
so those. I never had the onion rings. They had the sauce on there.
They had sriracha mayo.
Yeah,
It was good.
that was fire.
Yeah.
It was very fire.
I think that's everything we had, right?
That was everything. Y'all saw the pictures. The plate was absolutely full. Yeah, we got doggy bags to go.
You really can't go wrong when you come to Mickey's.
Not a single thing on this menu.
It's great. They, because they got the vegan options. They got the, if you want to be a little healthy, but it's traditional hood food with a little bit of flavor on it. And again, you can't go wrong on the menu. It's fantastic
At all. If you are coming to the city, you're from the city, and you're not from this part of the town, come down here.
Yeah, for real.
You got to, because you really missing out on something that you ain't never had. No jerk Italian beef. You ain't never had that. I guarantee you haven't.
Order it and pick it up, though, and leave.
Yes.
You sit in here, bro. You might be stuck.
Yeah,
I'm having a hard time right now.
Yeah. Because first of all,
I'm full.
Yeah. I was about to say it's very. I don't know how we got through this podcast. I'm kind of sleepy.
Shit.
I'm kind of sleepy to
I
be
had to
honest.
eat this for 45 minutes now, dude.
Oh
We were talking
man,
about the Swedes, and I was like,
this shit. It's going back and forth. You hit him with the.
get to 1970, bro. Let's get to 1970.
Before I fade out. This was good. If I had to rate it, y'all know.
I thought we stopped doing that.
No, I'm not rating it. I'm not gonna give it a number.
okay.
I'm just gonna say, this is probably my favorite burger in the city. This is probably
Hey, y'all used to
It's
do what?
been your
Rains on
favorite burger.
Skeleton?
Yeah, we used
Y'all
to
don't
10.
do it no more. So
We
I'll
don't.
do it.
Okay.
I'm going to give Mickey's I'm going to get him an 8.8.
8.8.
It's pretty good.
We ain't never had no 8.8 number.
I'm going to give him an 8.8.
Okay,
going hard.
it's a great number.
And, the food's good. The customer service is great.
Yeah, they dope.
The
They dope.
location's dope.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
The vibe is cool. You got some cool music to listen out to. Make the food go down better. When you dance and eat food,
Yeah.
it's something about that.
It's a
Kobe's been
9.8 after
dancing
a
the entire
blunt.
episode.
After a good blunt, it's a 9.8.
After he hit,
Yeah, once we in it, Mickey's a 10 in this bitch. Mickey's a dime.
easy 10.
On that note, y'all be blessed.
A little history, a little food, and hella jokes.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
Thank you for listening. If you like the episode, send it to someone you like. If you hate the episode, just stop listening.
Check out CityCast Chicago.
Check out CityCast Chicago.
Yes.
Where can they follow you?
Chicago.citycast.fm. We on Instagram, Twitter, and then look for me on Kobe Cochran on Instagram. Come join us, man. If you got something you want to learn about the city, email us, let us know. We'll do an episode about it. We'll figure it out. We love Chicago.
Yeah.
We love being with people like y'all who love to explore the city. So come join our little tribe that we got going.
Man, always a pleasure, my brother. Always a pleasure. Hey, go check out 77 Flavors on the Billboard if you.
Oh yeah, we're on 2 billboards.
Yeah,
On the Billy B.
on the Billy
On the
B.
Billy B.
Hey, if you're coming up northbound, 9094 West is what we call it. If you go in that direction, we got 2. One in Chinatown, one by the West Loop. Keep your eyes open for 77 Flavors. On that note, Dario, Sarah,
See you next Monday.
we'll see you. Peace.
Bye.
Y'all out here.
Hey. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of 77 Flavors of Chicago. We look forward to having you again next Monday. So make sure you look out for us on any platform where you can listen to a podcast. Make sure you rate, subscribe, and do all the things. And we'll see you next Monday.